This is the Apollo Pro. It is a scooter that's been almost 3 years in the making. You guys have been asking us over and over and over again, review the Apollo Pro. I've been holding off. Why is that, Andrew?
I think it's just because they wanted to make sure that it was perfect for us. They know that we're gonna pretty much shred any type of scooter if we don't like it, and they just wanted to make sure that it was perfect. And 7 versions later, I think we're pretty much near perfect with this scooter. So let's go ahead and stop talking and get this unboxed. So quick setup guide. Man, that is a great packaging job. It's a really clean scooter.
This thing looks awesome.
You may not recognize that voice behind there. It's actually Dalton, who we stole from Ben from Authentic. And we're excited to have him join the Freshly Charged team. Stand-up kickstand.
It's as if Tesla made a scooter. That's what I think of when I see this. Just the futuristic designs, the modern packaging.
This has been 2 years in the making, so they had a lot of time to plan out exactly how they wanted to package this, and I have not been disappointed in this unboxing experience. Oh wow, I've never seen this tool provided with the scooter before. It's great for the axle nuts. Tool set, valve stem extender, pump, extra bolts. This is one of my favorite things that I love about Apollo is them providing extra bolts, and then a guide showing you where each bolt is located and exactly how to find it quickly. Well, it's really easy. You just pretty much set up the steering pole and put in 6 bolts and you're ready to go. Let's go ahead and power this thing on. That is a really cool noise. Let's see what it sounds like powering it off. Pretty sweet. It's a pretty big charger. So this is a 58.8 volt charger with a 4.5 amp output. This is a 52 volt, 30 amp hour scooter. So it should just take you a little bit under 7 hours to charge from empty to full. We're already impressed with the scooter just from the unboxing experience, the initial impressions, and the sounds that are coming from it. We're gonna get this thing freshly charged and go through a walkthrough. Starting out with this cockpit, it's just gorgeous. Really nice wide handlebars, high mounted turn signals that are bright, and then the turn signals also run across the whole body. We'll see how it looks like in direct sunlight, but they've also made some updates to the turn signals. One thing that we've never seen on an electric scooter before is that this has a Bluetooth speaker. Great for listening to your tunes.
The speaker is also really nice to let other people know that you are coming. If you have some tunes playing, it can help get you in the groove while you're riding, and it lets people know that you're coming and that they should move out of the way.
Moving down the steering pole, you have a light at the top. It's not adjustable, pretty decently bright. The light bar moves down the steering pole, and this is also adjustable for the different types of colors, so you can choose your favorite one, but the white is just a really stunning color that fits the look of the scooter. Nice folding mechanism, and they've also got something that they're going to be adding. So on the Apollo Go, we had an extra silicone strap that wrapped around it. That will come on the next version of the Apollo Pro. It does come with a 4.5 amp output charger. One thing that I noticed though is that this scooter doesn't have that center locking mechanism that the Apollo Go and the City had. It was on the 6th generation, but maybe they just found that it was better without that. One neat feature that they've upgraded on the 7th generation is they've added bearings instead of bushings to the suspension. So there's 2 bearings in the front suspension and 4 bearings in the rear suspension. The reason why that's better is that bushings just go bad. We've had lots of issues with other scooters with bushings, so I love that they've upgraded them for longevity and better movement with the suspension. The other thing that's also been upgraded is this is now a 3,500 pound coil on the D&M adjustable hydraulic suspension. Previous versions had the 2,500 pound coil, and if you're a heavier rider, you'd bottom out on it. Nice big oversized fender, 1,200 watt motor, with a peak output of 3,000 watts, a 12-inch by 3.5-inch tire, which is so unique. We've never seen that size of tire on a scooter before. Self-healing as well, with puncture guard is what they call it, and a drum brake. There's also electric regen braking in each motor. So this has a IP66 water resistance rating, which should be able to handle direct jet sprays of water. Moving down to the deck, you have a really thick silicone pad, and right underneath that you have a 52 volt, 30 amp hour battery, so 1,560 watt hours. It's made from Samsung battery cells, and you can also track the battery health from the app. You have the locking mechanism for when it's folded in the rear. Drops into place, and now you can lift it up. And this is 96 pounds, so it's pretty heavy. Very impressive that it locks into itself when folded. And one thing that you may have noticed when I had it locked was that beefy kickstand underneath. The kickstand is a stand-up kickstand. It stands straight up. It'll take less room in your garage when you're storing it, and they've also improved on the bottom of it. So in the previous ones, it was a softer rubber compound. When it was heated up on the roads, it did tend to mess that up, so they've made it a harder polymer. In the rear, you have a nice angled kick plate and a handle to grab the scooter. So if you don't want to lock it in place when folded, it's really easy to grab it by the rear. Nice big oversized fender, another 1200 watt motor with a quick disconnect, a peak output of 3000 watts, another drum brake, and there's also the electric regen braking. This is equipped with a Mach 2 controller with a top speed of 44 miles per hour. The expected range is 31 to 62 miles. In the rear, there's a rubber cartridge suspension piece. It has been updated, so in the past, it was a really stiff piece of rubber that had holes drilled in it. Now it's made out of a softer compound, so it's nice and cushy. The deck itself, 19.5 inches long by 8 inches, 6 inches of clearance. Measuring the handlebar width, it comes in at 27.5 inches, and the handlebar height from the deck is about 40.5 inches.
This came really well packaged, almost Apple-esque type packaging job. The whole scooter came flawless. We are going to get on our safety gear, we're going to take it for a spin, we're going to tell you what we love about it, what we hate about it, and answer the question, should you get the Apollo Pro? Yeah, so this is our speed test road. You guys maybe ask us, why do we choose this road because it's in such bad condition? And you're probably right. It's in really bad condition. We like that it's usually wide open, and as long as Andrew stays on his route, he knows exactly where the potholes are. In fact, he's probably named every pothole. He knows the exact line to take to stay safe.
Stated top speed of 44 miles per hour. Not your super scooter, but that's not what the scooter is designed for.
This is like the Lexus of scooters, or Mercedes of scooters. It can go fast, it's just not a racer. And we're gonna test that speed right now.
It has a Ludo mode, but one cool feature is instead of having to cycle through all the speed levels, I can just hit the power button 3 times and it goes into Ludo mode. And it says Ludo right there.
And why that is significant is because sometimes you'll be on the road and you'll be in maybe first or second gear and you want to go straight to Ludo. Instead of having to cycle through the different modes, you hit the button 3 times and you're right there, ludicrous mode.
Stable, but wasn't hitting the top speed. I was hitting like 39, 40 on the display. Maybe it did actually flash 41 every once in a while. The Dragon said I was going 38 miles per hour, top speed going that way. On the way back, it said 39 miles per hour. So I did check my settings over there because I thought maybe I had something wrong. It did say I was in Ludo mode. It did say the max speed limit was maxed out. So I should be able to hit the 44 mile per hour stated top speed. So I'm gonna mess around with things a little bit more in the app and see if something changes. So yeah, some of the numbers was 0 to 10 was 2.27 seconds, 0 to 20 was 4.46 seconds, 0 to 30 was 8.52 seconds. The stated top speed of the 0 to 44 was 31.09 seconds. So this isn't gonna be like your earth-shattering fast scooter, but it is fast, it's stable.
You'll notice there's no steering damper. Without the steering damper, did you feel like you had any shimmies, shakes, or wobbles?
No, not at all. And I felt comfortable enough just to hover really low on the scooter, where some of the scooters have a steering damper and I won't even get low because I know I need to keep my gravity as high as possible, keeping that front end down on the ground.
We knew this wasn't going to be a drag racing, super fast scooter. It's more luxurious. The ride feel is more quality.
They've had 150 beta testers who put over 500 kilometers on each scooter, some even more. So I love that they've actually done the research instead of just rushing to get the scooter out to try to make it as perfect as possible.
And I'm not going to name names, but some companies have even sent us scooters that when we got them, I refused to review them. I refused to ride them because basically I felt like we were being treated as test dummies. I love the fact that we waited a little bit longer, but Apollo has sent us the final and the refined, polished, finished version of the Pro. Let's keep riding. At our next stop, we're going to talk about the things that we love about this scooter. So that right there was what Andrew was talking about. That dude was riding his bike, taking up the whole trail, and he had AirPods on. I kept saying, on your left, and he wouldn't scoot over. Turns out I was able to sneak past him. He had AirPods on. He was probably jamming out to his tunes. All right, let's stop here and let's talk about the things that we love about the Apollo Pro. I'll start off. I love the way that this looks. The angles, the lines, the curves. It's very futuristic. It's a nice blend of high-tech and aggressive, but it also looks really just approachable to me, so it's a good looking scooter.
I love the app. The app has a ton of controls, so I can control the acceleration curve, the brakes, the lights, the sounds, and then speaking about sounds, the sounds are very cool.
And let me show you a taste of the sounds. We recorded those in my garage earlier, but pretty darn cool.
Theft detected. Auto destruction in 3, 2, 1. Kidding. Calling the police now.
So this is the horn sound.
Yeah, this is hey, he's saying hey.
Hey!
Then there's a bicycle bell. Car horn.
So both tires are locked. It will not let anyone roll it away, and this alarm is going off. What's your favorite sound then?
The powering off and powering on sound pretty cool. There's one, and then that just sounds really cool. But I also do love the sound of the horn that says, hey!
It's very loud. That all comes out of this speaker on the side. This is the Apollo Pro. And that speaker is where you're also able to play your music as you're riding. It's excellent because you don't want to be like that guy on the trail earlier who was blocking the way. He didn't know we were behind him because he had his AirPods in. This has its own cellular service you can connect to, and for $10 a month, you can have the ability to follow to know where the scooter is at all times. And if it were ever stolen, you could deactivate it, know its location, and potentially retrieve it. That could come in super handy, especially if you live in a high crime area like in the Bay Area. In addition to having that electronic horn where you can change the different tones, you can also use the bell that's included. And that's really nice when you're traveling where there's pedestrians.
The regen braking works excellent on the scooter. All of the Apollo scooters with the regen braking is just top notch, so kudos to them for mastering that, and I wish other scooters would adopt that as well.
I love the light bar. The light bar is fantastic, both on the Apollo Go and the Apollo Pro. The headlight here is actually a little bit brighter.
You can't move the angle, but it definitely is brighter. I do love the high mounted turn signals that also correspond with the body. It just makes it look nice, uniformed, and easy to see at nighttime. The cable management is great. As you can see, the only two cables exposed are the brake lines. The display is super easy to read in direct sunlight. I have zero issues seeing it. You also have this nice locking mechanism that locks into itself when folded for easy lifting and portability.
The new innovation that is kind of taken from the moped world is this kickstand. I love the way this kickstand makes this scooter stand up straight and tall to let you know that this is a premium device. Really easy to use. It does have a couple drawbacks, and we'll talk about that in a minute when we talk about the things that we don't like about the scooter.
The IP66 water resistance rating is excellent. It's great for the scooter because they actually have great sills on the whole body. I love that they've upgraded the suspension to a 3,500 pound coil. Previous versions I did have issues with me bottoming out. I've had zero issues where the front end bottoms out on me when I go off of curbs. The 12-inch tires are nice and big. The bigger the tire, the safer it is when you hit potholes, and they're also self-healing tires. Through their thorough testing, they realized they should change to stronger bolts to prevent shearing, move from bushings to bearings. So they've really taken their time rather than rushing the product, and then they're still developing things with the app as well. One cool thing that I've noticed is that they're coming out with a new update for cruise control. Rather than having to hold the acceleration for 6 seconds at the same spot, now you can hit the left turn signal for 2 seconds while you're at the speed, and it will lock in a cruise control speed for you.
After listening to this, you may think that this is the perfect scooter, but there are things that need improvement, and we're going to talk about that at our next stop.
One of the biggest things that I really love about Apollo is that they've listened to the feedback of the riders and improved on the scooter. You can tell by just the subtle changes that they've made every single time they come out with a new scooter that they've listened to the consumer of what they want and how they want it. The regen braking on the Apollo Pro is better than all the other Apollo scooters, which is pretty hard to say. I've loved all the previous scooters we've tested from Apollo, But with the regen braking, I can almost stop perfectly fine even when I'm going at speeds higher than 20 miles per hour, where the other ones you really do need the assistance of the mechanical brake.
When Andrew talks, he likes to use his hands. But when you're riding a scooter, it's a big no-no to ride with just one hand. But every now and then, he's naturally just letting his hand off. We're on an off-road trail right now, and he's riding one-handed. And that's a testament of the scooter, the design, the stability, the skill. Andrew's a e-scooter ninja master. I don't even know what that is. What is a ninja master?
Ninja master?
I'm not being racist. I can say that. I'm Asian.
I don't even know.
Not quite 2 parking stalls.
So about 18 feet to stop from 20 miles per hour with both of the drum brakes. The compound on the tires is good. The drum brakes, they work well, but not as strong as disc brakes.
All right, we are going to talk about the things that we don't like about this scooter. I'll start off. I would say this is a very nice product, but people are not going to like the price. They're going to say, for this price point, you can get a scooter that goes a lot faster. And for those people that are typing that in the comments right now, I would say you're missing the point. This is a luxury scooter. If you go buy a Lexus or a Mercedes, you're not getting it because it goes the fastest. You're getting it because of the quality and because of the accessories, the materials, the amenities that come with that product.
But I do wish this scooter went a little bit faster. 50 miles per hour would fulfill a lot of people's satisfaction for speed. And I just wish that they would have made this at least a 60 volt scooter. I don't expect them to make this a 72 volt scooter. It's not supposed to be super fast, but a 60 volt scooter would allow us to go up to 50 miles per hour and have a slightly faster acceleration curve.
My next gripe, the kickstand is innovative, it's different. The problem that I have with it is it takes a little bit more effort to engage and to disengage than I'm used to with a normal kickstand.
I wish there was a little bit more of a spring action when you disengage it. Any type of sit-down scooter that has a stand-up kickstand, they normally will, once you push forward, they spring back up. The problem I have with this is when I push forward, the kickstand will be dragging against the ground and I have to manually push it up myself. The regen braking is easy to engage, but the brake levers take a lot of force to engage.
The design of this is pretty spectacular. There is a design flaw, I feel like, and that is this button here. So that button is where you lock your scooter when it's folded, and you use that button to unlock it so you can bring your scooter back upright. The problem is, for most riders, their rear foot is on this kick plate, and on your foot maybe some sand or dirt, and that can get stuck inside the button on the edges and lock the button. So sand is not your friend on this scooter. I do wish that they'd put a rubberized cover over that button to keep that problem from happening.
There is also some weird noise coming from the front, kind of a creaking noise. We tried to redo the sound. It sounds like something is echoing off of the fender, but we're not 100% sure what it is. Overall, do I think it's a safety issue? No. But it's a little bit annoying to deal with because all the other Apollo scooters we've reviewed in the past have sounded rock solid with zero weird noises.
If you guys have any ideas where that sound may be coming from, let us know in the comments below.
One other issue I have is the size of the battery for the price point. It's a 52 volt, 30 amp hour battery, so 1,560 amp hours. If you compare that to other scooters in the price range, most of them have almost 1.5 to 2 times the size of battery.
If you had a few things that you could snap your fingers and wish to make things come true and change about the scooter, what would it be?
Slightly higher top speed of at least 50 miles per hour, slightly bigger battery, and disc brakes.
While we ride, we're gonna answer the question, should you buy the Apollo Pro? You should get the Apollo Pro if you like nice things, if you like something that's reliable, that's got the greatest tech, and feels premium, because this is a premium product. Check out our full written review at freshycharge.com. Thanks for watching, and when you guys ride, wear your safety